Parkside. Oh, it's a 80-tooth, a 10-inch blade. Yeah, 254mm, and it's got a 30mm bore. That does come with washers, you know, spacers. But the thing is, you see, this blade cost the easy sum, I think, of $6.99 on the little website. So I thought I'd give it a go, alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to put that in this radial arm saw here and see if it cuts softwood. Probably just use a bit of this, you know. See if I can cut a mitre with it, not being too splintery. Just see what it's like. Because, you know, if you're cutting shitty bits of wood, alright, and you don't know what's in it, let's say, for instance, doing a lot of recycle work or pallet work and stuff like that, well, you don't necessarily want an expensive blade. You're going to bugger it up, aren't you? You know, you get a nail or something, damage it. So I thought I'd just get a cheapy one, and that's $6.99 a saw blade, tungsten carbide with an 80 tooth. I think I've got a 90 tooth version of that as well. So what we'll do is, no further ado, let's take this out of the way and install the blade. Now I normally use Wallybois here in France, which are really nice blades, but I don't want to kill it. I've got a nice Wallybois 100 tooth blade, which is good for hardwoods, what have you. So it's a bit awkward getting this guard off on the older DeWalt radial arm saw. And I know some people say, oh, I don't like them, they're dangerous, they scare me. Yeah, they can take your fingers off, they can, yeah. Well, this one's quite an old one, but it's a good machine. It's the, I can't remember what it is, it's 125. I've had 3 of these old DeWalts over the years, but this is by far the best one I've had. As it's quality. Yeah, new ain't always better, isn't it? As you see in there, I think there's a Wallybois in there. Yeah, there's a Wallybois in there at the moment, which needs a serious clean. It is sharp, but it needs a clean. So anyway, we're going to take that blade out, put it forwards, like so. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to sit that down on there like that, so I can't turn. And then hopefully I'll be able to undo it. Now you've got to remember these radial arm saws, they're in the opposite direction. Now you can also put a Allen key in there, which, where's it gone? Is that one? If you want to hold it still. It's the wrong one, where'd it go? That's not helpful. Oh well, never mind, I should be able to do it. Should be able to do it. So we're just going to go that way. There you go. Because when you go in clockwise direction to undo, you're actually pulling the blade down as well, so it can't move. So we're going to take that off, and then we'll raise it, we will, like so. Yeah, that's off again now. So let's remove that blade. Now don't forget, like I say, it's reverse thread. Yes, thread is in reverse, that is. All the washers come off with it. But it don't matter, because we're going to be using a different washer. That we will. That don't look like a very old washer, that looks quite a newish washer, it does. So this is a Wallybois. There's a good quality blade. You can see the copper spaces in the expansion slots. I thought, basic stuff, I thought I'd give this one a go. Like I say, it says it's just for wood. I don't see why you couldn't use it on plastic, but you know, they say it's just for wood. But there you go. Like I say, there you go. Yes, I said it 3 times. Right. So what do you get in the box? Now these boxes are actually quite handy to keep, alright? So if you've got, for instance, if you haven't got some of the hangy blades up like I have, and you do put them in the drawer, you can put your old blade or your other blade into the box and put it in the drawer. So it's quite a handy thing to keep. So there is the blade. Oh my god, my dog down there now. Come there, Sebastian. What's a treat you do there, boy? So let's take this blade out and see what we've got. What have we got here? How do we get it out? Oh, there's the opening. I found it. Right, there's 2 washers in there as well, rattling about with the blade, but they do put a blade guard on the blade, so that's okay. So it's a 30mm ball, so you can then put in, what's it, 16 or something? What is it? Washer-wise, it don't say on there. Oh, you get, 30 to 16 and 30 to 20mm. So 20 about 3/4 and 16 like that. Oh god knows. Can't remember now. Right, first impressions. It's got some residual goo on it, obviously, sort from rusting. How big are those teeth? And if I compare that to like this dirty Wallybois, See the size of teeth on that, right? And then look at the size of teeth on that. And that is I think this one's the 80. This is. Yeah, this is 80 tooth. So it's the same amount of teeth as that one. But yeah, big difference in the quality of the blade. Also, that's a lot thinner than that one. All right. So if you've got a saw, say if you've got a chop saw and it's of low power, you'd be better off with one of these than actually you would one of those, to be fair. Because more resistance, because it's a thicker blade, you see. The kerf on this is, what does it say on here? It is 2.5 millimeters. I don't think it's on there. Oh, is it? Might be. This is 3.2 millimeters. It's a much thicker blade. Right, hopefully it's flat. It's definitely sharp. Like I say, the first few cuts might be a little bit shitty because it's got all this waxy stuff on the teeth, but that'll come off in the first cut or so. What's that? It's for wood. It's 5,500 RPM. I wonder what this one says. This one is 7,500. So that obviously because it's heavier, it's thicker. So it's not go back as easily as this one. So anyway, let's put on. All right. With this particular saw, you've got to get the blade in the right direction, which is not that way. It is that way. So that's going to go on there. So, oh, but before we do that, we've got to insert the washer. Oh, crikey, there it is. It's the right one. There's 16 mil. So that's going to go on there. So, tap that in. Now, if your washer, right, is old, you don't want to keep falling out on you. What you can do is just use a centre punch and just nip the insides of the washer, the outside of the washer, so it then grips the hull of the blade, so it don't fall off. There you go, that's on there. So now let's plonk that on there. Alright. Don't forget to unplug the machine like I... Oh, no, I've got isolator on, that's fine. Right, so... make sure that's the right way around, which it is. And I'm going to do the same again. I'm not saying it's the best way of doing it. Oh, hang on. Is that the Allen key? No, I can't find the right Allen key here. What's happened to that, I wonder? It's not that one, is it? No. But you've got an Allen key going there, or on the other end here as well, to lock the shaft if you want to. But I'm just going to put it down like so. So it can't rotate, and then I'm just going to tighten the blade. That's it. Don't overdo them. There was a brass nut on these radar arm saws, so you don't want to damage your nuts. Don't damage your nuts, okay? It's the best advice of the day. That it is. Right, so they spin, place the guard back on top. Don't run without a guard in. Or on. These are really fiddly, you know. So you need to get that over the nut, like so. That slots down. That's it, that's in there. And then we've got our... How are you supposed to get your fingers in there? That's what always gets me about these things. That's one of the worst parts of these machines. I actually really like the radio arm saw. I know there's a lot of people that don't, but I really like these saws. Because once you've got it set up, and I don't use all the angles and stuff on it, I always just cut at 90 degrees. That's all I ever do with this machine. So I do have a chop saws as well. But if I want to create any... that's on. If I want to create any angles, I use a jig. As you can do, jig. There we go. Is that good? That's good, except I've twisted that. But that don't matter for the moment. I'm not worried about it at the moment. Right, so let's do a square cut first. Let's make sure it spins and doesn't. I'll say it one first. Well, there we go. That's quiet. Nice quiet blade. Tell you what I didn't check. Is the blade true? Is there a wobble in the blade at all? Nope. The blade is true. That's a good sign. Alright, so let's grab our piece of wood. Let's do just a square cut first and see what that's like. This is a piece of old northern fir. Well, it sounded alright. Sort of limited breakout. There's less breakout than the other one because the other one's dirty, but it's, you know, you see there's a bit of breakout. But you can obviously put a... This insert here needs replacing. Okay, I need to change that, so it's gone too wide now. But the cut is very smooth, actually. Should we do a miter joint? And then we'll try and do a wider board as well. That'll be a telltale sign of radio alarm, so if it's grabbing or getting heat on a wide piece of board, that is a problem. It has got an off switch up there, but I use the drop low switch. That looks pretty good for a cut. Sorry, you can't see, can you? That's not bad, is it? Eh? Like I say, you get a bit of breakout on it. That side hasn't broke out at all, yet that one has. So you're getting a little bit of breakout on one side. Oh, I know why that is. It's because it's on the edge of this. That's right. That's fine. That makes sense. Okay, then let's try and cut a wider piece of board. See how good that is. So far, so good. What we'll be telling us when I start doing oak. Alright, but let's start with a piece of, well, another piece of pine. That pin here in France. The whole point of this, for me, is a case of I need a blade that I can use that ain't going to get, at $6.99 I don't give a shit damn about it, do you know what I mean? I'm not that worried, but I'm actually quite impressed with this blade so far. The finish of the cut is pretty good, and that's in pine, so you expect it to be sort of rough and coarse, but that is a nice smooth cut. And it is the 80-tooth blade, and it's fast as well. It seems pretty quick. It's not burning at all, is it? No, let's try a bit of oak. There's a bit of oak here, that'll do. You see, that is what the other blade was doing. And you see, that's because it's built up of, well, rubbish on that. You know, it's got resins on the blade. The blades get dirty, you see. So if you look at that, if your blade ends up looking like that, you need to clean it. And you might find you'll have an edge back. Because what happens is all that resin, so it builds up on the sides of the teeth and creates heat. So we'll try this piece, shall we? See if there's a better cut than that one. That's that side. Show you the other one, okay. So far, so good. No burning. A bit further into the board. No burning. Burning. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It's a $6.99 blade. I don't know how long it's going to last, alright? But $6.99? The whole point, I suppose, really, if you're going to be cutting some dubious timber, dirty wood like that, because if it's dirty like this, it's going to have grit in it, alright? Now, if you're going to be cutting like pallet wood and shit like that, you don't want to be using top quality blades, do you? Eh? Not really. You just end up spending a shitload of money. And for what? What's the gain? Sometimes you don't want, unless you're spending on a blade like that, which is about 60, 70 euros here, when you can get a blade like that for $6.99 and a £5 postage. You make the most of the postage, don't you, you know? And that's here in France, this is. And Lidl's are everywhere, aren't they, you know what I mean? But that sort of price, you know, Parkside's everywhere as well, so... Yeah, that's not a bad cut, is it? I think that'll do most people, innit? You know? There's nothing wrong with that. Let's try the other end, so it's further in on the board. That's oak and that's chestnut. You know? Cleans the whistle, so cut off the old burnt bit. I'm pleasantly surprised actually. I didn't honestly think it's going to be as good finish as that. And at that speed, if I slow down a bit, shall I slow down a bit? Just see what happens, yeah? Yeah, you obviously get the cuts, you know, where the teeth have engaged. They're closer together, so that's quite a quick blade actually. It's hard stuff, you know. So far I'm convinced. Proof will be in the pudding, mind, but so far I'm convinced. Anyway, that blade in there is a Parkside circular saw blade, and it was $6.99 or $7.99. I think that's under a tenner anyway here in France on the website. And this is the 80 tooth. They're all the same price. They do a 90 tooth, 80 tooth, and a 40 tooth. You know, like more of a general purpose sort of blade. So yeah. I'm impressed. Anyway, I'm going to be using this blade quite a bit now. What bits it's in the saw, and we'll see how we get how we do with it after a few cuts. You know, after 100 or 200 odd cuts or something. You know, and see how it fares. I'm impressed actually. That's not that bad, is it? For that money, stupid money. It really is. Anyway, don't forget people who like button, maybe subscribe to the channel. And are you using any of these blades? And what is your preferred blade? Let us know in the comments down below. Toodaloo.